Imagine you're drifting off to sleep, your mind settling into the soft embrace of rest. But what if reality itself suddenly starts to fracture? A world where the boundaries between what's real and what's imagined begin to blur. Welcome to a journey through the most unsettling glitch stories, where reality itself seems to break down. These aren't just tales of strange occurrences. These are the moments that make you question everything you know about the world around you. So, turn off the lights, relax, and let's delve into the unknown. Story 1. The Echoes of a Different Life. Imagine this. A quiet night, much like any other. The world is settling down. The sky darkens, and the comforting hum of the world outside your window fades into a peaceful silence. You're lying in bed, your body sinking deeper into the softness of the sheets, your eyelids heavy with the promise of sleep. The rhythmic breathing of the night lulls you, and for a brief moment, you feel a sense of calm wash over you. Everything is still. Everything is normal. But then, something shifts. It's faint at first, so subtle you almost miss it. A sound. A voice, but not like the one in your head. It's not your inner thoughts. This voice feels real. It's outside of you, somewhere in the room. At first, you think it's just the shadows playing tricks on you. Maybe it's the house settling, the wind rustling against the windows, or the soft creak of floorboards beneath your feet. You dismiss it, trying to ignore the sensation of someone else being there. But the voice calls again. Your name. A shiver runs down your spine. You freeze, your heart racing as the realization slowly settles in. It's your name, spoken with such clarity, yet it feels strange, different. It's not the way you say it, not the way it sounds in your own mind. You strain your ears, listening, trying to figure out where it's coming from, but you can't locate the source. The room is empty, silent, and yet the voice continues, echoing in the space around you. It calls your name again, but this time it's deeper, more deliberate. It feels distant, as if it's coming from a place beyond your reach. You turn your head slowly, looking toward the shadows in the corner of the room. The air is heavy now, thick with an unsettling stillness. You search, desperately trying to make sense of what's happening, but there's nothing. No one. The room is as it was. Only now, the walls seem closer, pressing in on you. The voice doesn't stop. It's as if it's following you, drifting through the space, lingering in the air like a cold breeze that brushes against your skin. It doesn't belong to you, but it knows you. It speaks your words, echoes your thoughts, but not in the way you would. The rhythm is wrong, the tone off, as if someone else has learned to live your life, someone else who speaks for you, who breathes your air, who takes you a place in the world, yet does it in a way you would never. You sit up in bed, the covers tangled around you, your pulse racing in your chest. You strain to listen, but the voice remains just out of reach. It's almost as if the sound is coming from a parallel world, one where you are not the person you thought you were. You're caught in a moment between two realities, both real, yet neither truly yours. You rise, hesitant, feeling the weight of the room closing in. You take a step, then another, inching toward the source of the voice that's now becoming louder, clearer. It calls you again, more urgently this time, your name, but with an unfamiliar twist. Your feet feel heavy, as if the ground is pulling at you. You turn, and for a brief moment, you think you see something in the mirror, a reflection. But it's not your reflection. It's you, yes, but not you. It's as if someone else is standing there, living your life from the other side of the glass. The voice calls again. You don't look at the mirror. Instead, you turn toward the door, but the darkness beyond it seems endless, like an abyss waiting to swallow you whole. You take a deep breath and step forward, but with each step, the feeling that you are not in control intensifies. The air grows colder, the silence heavier. It's as if something is waiting. Someone is waiting. And then, just as you reach for the doorknob, the voice stops. For a brief moment, there's nothing but the echo of your own breathing. The stillness returns, but it feels wrong. You know something has changed, but you don't know what. The room, the world, it feels altered, like the glitch you just experienced wasn't just in the air, but in the very fabric of time and space itself. And just before you close your eyes to sleep, you can't help but wonder, was it all just a dream? Or has something else, something strange, taken your place, waiting patiently in the shadows? Story 2. The Parallel Path. Picture this. It's a calm morning, the sun peeking through the blinds, casting soft light across your room. You wake up, your body stretching as you let out a quiet sigh, still half dreaming. The day ahead feels like any other. You rise from your bed, feet touching the cool floor, and step into your usual routine. The familiar sounds of the house, the creaking of the floorboards, the hum of the refrigerator in the kitchen. It all feels normal, predictable, like the start of another ordinary day. But then, something feels different. It's subtle, so subtle at first that you almost brush it off. You make your way to the kitchen, ready to make your morning coffee. And there is a chair in the kitchen that wasn't there yesterday. You pause for a moment, staring at it. It's not a fancy chair, just a simple wooden one. But you're certain it hasn't been there before. You never remember putting it there, never even thought to buy one like it. You shake your head, thinking it's a trick of your tired eyes. But still, there it is. You walk past it, dismissing the feeling as nothing more than a small oddity, until something else catches your attention. A picture frame, a family photo, one you don't even remember owning. It's hanging on the wall, slightly tilted, as if it had been there forever, and yet, you have no memory of putting it there, no recollection of ever seeing that particular photo. It's of people you vaguely recognize, standing together with smiles that seem both familiar and completely strange at the same time. But how could this be? The image feels too real, too detailed, for it to be a dream. Yet it feels like it doesn't quite belong in your life. You walk further down the hallway, your steps growing heavier with each passing moment, as you try to shake the growing sense of unease. That's when you catch a glimpse of something out of the corner of your eye. A reflection. But it's not just any reflection. You turn quickly, your heart thudding in your chest. It's you, but not quite the you know. There's a difference. It's as if you've aged, just a little, but enough to make you stop and stare. You're older, yes, but it's unmistakably you. The same eyes, the same smile, but there's a change, a slight shift in your appearance. You blink, wondering if your mind is playing tricks on you. Maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Maybe you've been overworking. and your body is fooling you into seeing things. You quickly shake it off, trying to convince yourself that it's just a trick of the light. Yet, as you move on with your day, the feeling lingers. The quiet uncertainty creeps in. Was it a fleeting moment? A figment of your imagination? Or is it something more? The rest of the day proceeds, but the strangeness doesn't fade. Little things keep catching your eye. A clock that's running a few minutes faster than usual. The familiar scent of coffee in the air, but just a little off. The world around you feels not quite right. It's as if everything is the same, yet not. Like the universe has shifted, ever so slightly, and pulled you into a version of your life that's almost yours, but not exactly. By the time night falls, you lie in bed, your mind racing with questions. What if you've stepped into a reality that's not quite the same as the one you've known? What if this isn't your home, your life? What if the person you saw in the hallway, the one who seemed so familiar, yet older, wasn't just a figment of your imagination, but a glimpse into another version of you? A version of your life that almost mirrors your own, but with small differences. Is this the glitch, the crack in the fabric of reality that you've heard about? The one that shifts timelines just enough to make you question everything? And then, as sleep finally begins to claim you, you're left with one thought, haunting you in the dark. What if this is the wrong version of the world? What if you've ended up somewhere you were never supposed to be? The thought clings to your mind like a fog, pulling you deeper into the mystery of it all. But as the night stretches on, your eyelids grow heavier, and you feel yourself drifting off into sleep, where answers may come, or where they may just slip away into the dream world, leaving you wondering if you'll ever truly know. Story 3. The Vanishing Memory. Imagine this. It's a cozy evening, the kind where you're surrounded by good friends, the air filled with laughter and warmth. The room is softly lit, a few candles flickering in the background, casting a gentle glow across your faces. You're sitting comfortably, sharing stories and reminiscing about old times. It feels like a perfect night, one where everything is in its place. The chatter of friends fills the air, their voices weaving together in a comfortable rhythm. Everything feels safe, like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. But then, something strange happens. One of your friends says something. It's a simple sentence, but it catches you off guard. It's oddly familiar. You can't quite put your finger on it, but the words seem to echo in your mind. Didn't they just say that? You laugh it off, thinking maybe you're just tired, or maybe it's just the way the conversation is flowing. You brush it aside and continue to enjoy the moment. But then, it happens again. The same sentence, the same words. How could that be? You glance at your friend, trying to see if they notice. But no, they're lost in the conversation, unaware of the strange repetition. You start to feel a subtle unease building in your chest. Your mind races, trying to make sense of it. It's as if the world is repeating itself, looping like a broken record, and you're the only one who can hear it. The feeling only intensifies when it happens again. The same phrase, the same motion. Your friend says something else, something you've heard them say before. You're certain of it. It's like they're reading from a script, and the lines they're speaking are on a loop, playing over and over without them realizing. You can't escape the feeling that something is wrong. Something isn't right. As your thoughts swirl, you begin to notice more oddities. Your friends' actions seem delayed. You catch them glancing at you with a confused expression, like they're unsure of what just happened. They repeat things you know you both shared, memories, experiences, moments that have played out in your life together. But this time, they don't seem to remember them. They smile, nod, and continue talking as if it's the first time they've ever mentioned them. But it's not the first time. It's like they're trapped in a loop, a cycle of repeating moments, while you are the only one who sees it. And then, just as your mind starts to spiral with confusion, something even stranger happens. The scene changes. It's subtle at first, a slight shift in the room. The lights flicker. The sounds of your friends fade into a strange hum. You blink, and suddenly, you're not in the same room anymore. The familiar space where you were sitting laughing with friends is gone. The chairs, the cozy setting, the faces you knew, they've all disappeared. You're still in a room, but it's unfamiliar. The walls are a different color. The furniture is arranged in a way you don't remember. Your heart begins to race as you look around, trying to find something, anything, that feels like it belongs. But it doesn't. The worst part is, your mind insists this is where you belong. This is your reality. But nothing about it feels right. You look around, searching for a sign of familiarity, and yet everything feels so foreign. You turn to your friends, hoping that their faces will anchor you, but even they seem different. Their smiles are the same, but their eyes, they don't hold the same warmth. It's like they're playing a part, but they don't even realize it. And then, the scene flickers again. Like a glitch in a game, the entire room shifts in a blink. You can hear the laughter, see the smiles, but it's all a hollow echo of what you once knew. They're there, yes, but they're not really there. They repeat the same phrases, the same actions, over and over, like characters stuck in a loop. But they don't know they're in it. They don't realize they're part of the glitch, caught in a world that's no longer in sync. You try to speak, to say something, but when you open your mouth, the words feel foreign, as if they're not even your own. You try to ask them what's going on, but they just smile, confused, as if nothing's wrong at all. They continue to chat, unaware of the strange fracture in reality that surrounds you. The deeper you try to dig into your thoughts, the more confused you become. The memories that you've shared with these friends, memories you should have shared, are slipping away. Some moments feel as though they've never even happened, while others feel too real, too vivid. You wonder if the friends in front of you even remember the past the same way you do. But you can't ask them. They don't even notice the glitch. And the more you try to hold on to the truth of it, the more it slips through your fingers like sand. As you sink deeper into this odd world, you realize something chilling. What if this is all just a game? What if you're not really here at all? What if the people around you are simply characters, scripted to play out their lives in this moment, unaware of the reality they're trapped in? And worst of all, what if you're the one who's been erased? What if the real memories, the ones you know you've shared, are nothing but ghosts, faded echoes in the corners of your mind? As sleep begins to drift over you, the room starts to blur. The faces of your friends begin to fade, and the uncertainty grows stronger. You try to hold on, to cling to the familiar, but the memories seem to vanish faster than you can grasp them. And as the darkness of sleep swallows you whole, you can't help but wonder, what happens to those memories that vanish? Where do they go when they slip through the cracks of your mind? And when you wake up again, will you remember them? Or will they be lost forever? Story 4. The Disappearing Phone Call. It's late one night, the world around you wrapped in silence. The kind of silence that comes with the deep, peaceful stillness of the evening, where every sound seems amplified, and the night feels like it's holding its breath. You're lying in bed, eyes half closed, drifting toward sleep. Your room is calm, the dim light from your phone casting a soft glow on the walls. The day's worries have melted away, leaving you with nothing but the quiet hum of your own thoughts. Suddenly, your phone buzzes on the nightstand, jolting you out of your daze. It's an unknown number, a call in the middle of the night. You frown, your curiosity piqued. You hesitate for just a moment, but something urges you to pick it up. Maybe it's important, maybe it's someone in need. So you swipe the screen and press the phone to your ear, expecting a regular call. But the voice on the other end is different. It sounds oddly familiar, like someone you've known for years, yet you can't place it. The voice isn't one you hear every day, but there's a sense of recognition there. They speak to you like they know you, really know you. As the conversation continues, the voice starts to mention things only you would know. Small details of your life, memories you've forgotten, feelings you've never shared with anyone. The things they say echo in your mind, as if they've been inside your head, watching your every move. Your heart beats faster, a cold chill crawling up your spine. You try to focus, but with every word they speak, the conversation grows more unsettling, more intense. There's a certain urgency in their tone, as if they're trying to tell you something important, something you need to understand, but it's hard to keep up. The details blur together as your thoughts race, trying to make sense of the situation. Who is this? Why do they sound like they know so much about you? Who is this? You finally ask, your voice trembling. You feel the tension in your chest, the weight of the conversation pressing down on you. The voice pauses, and for a moment, everything goes eerily silent. You wait, heart pounding in your ears, but the silence is deafening. Just as you think the call is about to end, the voice returns, softer now, almost a whisper. You'll forget about this call, they say, just like the last one. The words hang in the air, heavy with meaning. You don't understand. What do they mean? What last call? You try to speak, to ask them to explain, but before you can, the line goes dead. The phone goes silent, and you're left holding it, your breath caught in your throat. You stare at the screen, your fingers trembling as you swipe through the call log. But there's nothing. No missed call, no history, no trace of the conversation you just had. The screen is blank. It's as if the call never even happened. You blink, staring at the phone, waiting for the call to show up, but it doesn't. It's like the conversation was erased, wiped from existence, leaving nothing behind but an overwhelming sense of confusion. The silence of the night presses in, making everything feel even more surreal. But you know it happened. You remember the voice, the words, the unsettling feeling of someone who knew you better than you knew yourself. You try to tell yourself it was just a dream, but it doesn't feel like a dream. It feels too real, too vivid, as if reality itself has bent in some strange, inexplicable way. Your mind races, trying to find some explanation. But every answer seems to slip through your fingers like sand. A glance at the clock reveals that no time has passed since the call ended. The room is still as it was. Everything feels normal, yet off. The more you think about it, the more you begin to question the fabric of what you just experienced. Had you imagined it? Was it some kind of glitch in your mind, a trick your brain played on you in the middle of the night? Or was it something more? Something that exists outside of the boundaries of time and space. Something that can slip in and out of your reality without you even knowing it. The night stretches on, and you lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, waiting for sleep to claim you. But the call lingers in your mind. The voice, the words, the eerie sense that something is hiding just beyond your understanding. You close your eyes, trying to quiet your racing thoughts, but every time you drift toward sleep, the voice returns, whispering softly in the back of your mind. You'll forget about this, just like the last one. And with that thought, you realize maybe that's what they want, for you to forget, for you to slip into sleep, to forget that something strange just happened, something that defies explanation. But as sleep finally takes you, you're left wondering, what if there's more to this than you realize? What if the call was only the beginning of something much bigger? And just before you fall into the deep, quiet silence of sleep, you can't help but feel a lingering presence, as if something is waiting for you in the quiet, something that is only a phone call away. Story 5. The Vanishing Train. Imagine this. You're standing alone at the train station, the night air cool against your skin. The platform is quiet, almost too quiet. The usual sounds of a bustling station, people chatting, the rustle of paper, the distant murmur of city traffic are strangely absent. All you hear is the soft hiss of the wind and the faint clicking of the tracks beneath your feet. The station is empty, just you and the tracks stretching endlessly into the night. You check the time on your phone, just in time to see that you've missed your train. You let out a sigh, feeling a bit frustrated, but there's nothing to do now but wait. The next train won't be along for a while. You look around and the station, though quiet, feels oddly peaceful. The dim lights above cast long shadows on the ground, and you watch them flicker slightly, as if the light is unsure whether it wants to stay on. Everything feels suspended in time, as if the world is holding its breath. You decide to wait, taking a seat on the cold bench, your mind wandering as you stare at the tracks. The rhythmic sound of your breathing is the only thing that breaks the silence, the occasional breeze brushing against your face. Just as you begin to settle into the stillness of the moment, something shifts. A low hum fills the air, barely perceptible at first. It starts as a whisper of sound, a vibration you feel more than hear. Then, slowly, the sound builds. It's the unmistakable sound of a train approaching. You look up, squinting into the distance, and the dim lights at the far end of the tracks flicker again. And there it is, the train. You can hear the familiar rumble of its wheels, feel the ground beneath you gently vibrating as it draws closer. But something feels wrong. The train is coming into view, but as it nears, the details become clearer. It's wrong. The colors are strange, the design unfamiliar. The train's shape doesn't quite match the ones you're used to. The usual sleek, modern form is gone, replaced by something older, something you can't place. The colors are off too, too bright, too vivid, like they've been painted in the wrong shade, as if the world's colors have been scrambled just for this moment. Your heart skips a beat as you watch it approach. It's growing closer, the sound of the wheels screeching louder now, the train barreling toward the platform with alarming speed. Your legs move on their own, and you find yourself rushing toward the edge of the platform, instinctively wanting to board. But just as you reach the edge, something strange happens. The train doesn't slow down. It doesn't stop. It vanishes. One moment, it's right in front of you, the train almost tangible, its lights casting eerie reflections on the tracks. And the next, it's gone, disappeared, as if it never existed. The tracks are empty again, the faint hum of the approaching train replaced by the eerie silence of the station. You stand there, breathless, staring at the spot where it should have been. But there's nothing, no sign of the train, no movement in the distance. Just the cold, empty station, the tracks stretching on into nothingness. You stand frozen for a moment, your mind scrambling to make sense of what just happened. Did I imagine it? You wonder, but you can't shake the feeling. The train, it was there. You felt its presence, the vibrations, the sound, the lights. You saw them flicker as it approached. You're certain it wasn't a dream, but the more you think about it, the more it feels like the whole thing was just a glitch in reality. Something that wasn't supposed to be there, yet was. You glance around the station again, half expecting the train to reappear, but the platform is empty. No passengers, no workers, no signs of any train ever passing through. Just the cold, empty space stretching before you. The air seems still, too still, and the world around you feels a little too quiet. And then, in the silence, a strange thought crosses your mind. What if that train never existed at all? What if it was just a fleeting moment, a shift in the fabric of reality that slipped through the cracks? Maybe the train was never real. Maybe the whole thing was a trick of your perception, a small break in the world you thought you knew. But if that's true, then what else could slip through the cracks when you're not looking? You feel your heart still racing, your mind trying to pull together the pieces, but nothing quite fits. The more you think about it, the more the memory of the train fades, slipping away like a dream you can't quite hold on to. Was it real? Or was it just a moment of perception, a glitch in the way the world unfolded? As you sit back down on the bench, the silence presses in again, the station still and empty, as if time itself is holding its breath. You look down the tracks one more time, but all you see is the faint shimmer of the platform stretching into the distance. No train, no sound, just the quiet hum of the night. The world feels still, and yet not quite still. And as you close your eyes, trying to shake off the strange feeling, you can't help but wonder, what if the train was always there, but it was you who didn't see it? And with that thought, sleep finally begins to take you, the strange hum of the disappearing train lingering in your mind, the feeling that something slipped by, just out of reach, keeping you wondering what's real and what's just a moment. Lost between the cracks of perception? Story 6. The Double Sun. Imagine this. It's an ordinary morning, much like any other. The world is waking up around you. The birds are singing, the air crisp with the freshness of the early day. You step outside, your feet brushing against the cool grass, the sun just beginning to peek over the horizon. The warmth of its golden light washes over you as you go through your usual routine, the peaceful stillness of the morning embracing you. You feel the familiar rhythm of the world, the steady pulse of time as everything unfolds as it should. But then, something catches your eye. At first, you think it's just a trick of your tired mind, something you didn't notice at first. But as you lift your gaze toward the sky, you see it, the sun. But it's not just one. There are two. The first sun is the one you know, the one that has always risen in the east, warm and golden, casting its light over everything. But the second sun, it's different. It's smaller, more distant, and its light is faint, like a pale, eerie blue. You blink, thinking maybe your eyes are playing tricks on you. Maybe you're still half dreaming, or maybe the light is too bright, making you see things. But when you open your eyes again, the second sun is still there, hanging in the sky next to the first. You stand still, staring at it, your breath catching in your throat. It's almost surreal, like something out of a dream. The two suns hang there, side by side, the golden one shining brightly, while the blue one pulses softly, like a distant star, too close for comfort. It doesn't make sense. How can there be two suns? How is it possible? You look around, trying to find someone else who might have noticed, someone who can confirm what you're seeing. But the people around you, they're all going about their day like nothing is unusual. They're walking to work, talking to friends, going through the motions of their normal routines. No one else seems to see the second sun. They don't even seem to notice the oddities in the sky. The world to them is the same as it's always been. But you can't shake the feeling that something is terribly, terribly off. The air feels thicker, heavier, as if the laws of nature are being rewritten right before your eyes. You glance up again, and the blue sun still hangs there, casting its strange, unsettling glow across the landscape. The light feels cold, unnatural. The golden sun remains warm, but it's almost as if it, too, is somehow distorted. It doesn't feel like the world you know. Your mind races. What if I'm not just seeing things? What if I've somehow entered a version of reality where the rules of nature no longer apply? What if something is wrong with the world? You try to take a deep breath to calm yourself. Surely this is just an illusion, a figment of your imagination, right? But deep down, you can't help but wonder. The longer you stare at the sky, the more you feel like you're trapped in a world that doesn't quite make sense. You want to call out to someone, ask if they see it too. You want to shake someone awake, to tell them that something isn't right. But the more you look at the people around you, the more you realize they're not seeing the same thing you are. They go on with their lives, blissfully unaware of the second sun of the sky that's not quite right. It's as if you've been pulled into a different reality, a world just slightly askew from the one you once knew. You try to take a step forward, your heart beating faster with each passing moment. But the weight of what's happening is too much. You can't ignore it any longer. The sky is broken. It's wrong. It's a glitch in the very fabric of the world you've always known. And just as suddenly as it appeared, the second sun begins to fade. The blue light dims, slowly at first, as if it's retreating back into the depths of the sky from which it came. The golden sun shines brighter, more solid, but the pale blue one disappears into the vast expanse, leaving no trace. It's as if it was never there at all. You blink, your mind struggling to process what just happened. Was it a dream? A fleeting moment that never truly existed. The world around you is still the same, the people still walking by, oblivious to the strange thing you just witnessed. The sky looks normal now, just the golden sun hanging in its familiar place, bathing everything in its warmth. But you know what you saw. You know that there were two suns. You felt it, saw it, lived it, and now it's gone. Vanished, and you're left standing there, the echo of that strange, otherworldly blue sun lingering in your mind. You try to shake it off, to move forward with your day, but a nagging thought pulls at the back of your mind. What if you weren't supposed to see it? What if you glimpsed something you weren't meant to witness? The thought settles heavily in your chest, making it hard to breathe. And as the day goes on, you can't help but feel a deep unease, as if you've stepped out of the world you knew and into something else, a place where the rules are no longer the same. As you lie in bed that night, drifting off to sleep, the image of the two suns remains etched in your mind. The blue one, fading away into the distance, leaving you with the strange feeling that something is off, something is not quite right. And as sleep begins to pull you under, you can't shake the thought. What if the sky has always been broken, and you're the only one who saw it? The world feels just a little bit different now, a little less real. And as you slip into slumber, you wonder if tomorrow will bring with it another glimpse into a world that doesn't quite belong to you anymore.